ready. Hey, Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps, and I'm joined with none other than Billy Joe. How are you, Billy?
Not too bad, you?
I'm good, thank you.
So I had Cougar and Cassius, seriously, on a serious note, I forgot to tell you, ring me up and saying, oh, I want to come and see you Wednesday. Can you not give Michelle the interview until Wednesday? After me. Basically, wanted him first, then you.
You're lying.
On my life. I'm not lying. Seriously.
Well, I appreciate you giving me the interview. It was planned beforehand, either way.
No, yeah, I said that. I said, look, I spoke to Michelle already. I said she's coming down. I said, so got to give her an interview. Oh, he said I can be up Wednesday, which is tomorrow. It is tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, it is tomorrow.
So basically, wanted to put you off.
Cold-blooded Cougs. Always trying to step in.
Cutthroat game, innit? Use loggerheads a little bit. Who would you say has got more viewers, attract more people, like individually, you or Coogan?
I don't know. I'm always going to have to say Coogan, but I don't really consider Coogan to be competition either, and I don't think he considers me to be competition. We may be doing similar. We may be doing boxing interviews, but unless you're a female, I wouldn't really consider you to be my competition.
So what you're saying, other females is your competition?
Huh?
Other females are your competition then, yeah?
I would say that if someone else had their channel and was competing against me in that area, yeah.
What would you do?
Nothing. There's a lot of them around now.
So what would you do if a woman came in more superior in every single department, interviews, everything? What would you do?
I'd like to meet her.
Good confidence. Good confidence. Good. All right, yeah, carry on. So just thought.
Shut up. Bill, there's been a lot of... first of all, I wanted to actually talk to you about something. I saw that you like to take to Instagram Live and do a lot of funny, banterish type jokes. I saw one recently where you convinced a man that he was on a gay website, but you were technically on Instagram Live. How did he not see? Remember you kept showing him the screen. How did he not figure it out? Do you think he's just not maybe savvy with the apps?
Well, I'm very... is this right? Computer illiterate. Is that right? Am I saying that right? Computer literate. Yeah, that means I'm shit with computers. Illiterate. All right. You know, I think he was very phone illiterate. He didn't really know, but it's just boredom. When you're getting a little bit bored and I see a passerby walk past, I just have a little bit of a laugh, a little bit of a crack, and it's turned out to a half-hour interview. So someone's been on Touch to Bite actually for YouTube.
Would it be safe to say that you get bored a lot though, because it was between that and the girl walking the street? I've seen other videos of you.
That was just passing by. We was going to we cut through somewhere through Sheffield to go to
Costco, innit?
No, Barry. What was that park we went to? When we see the prostitute walking, what was the park?
Oh, that was called Beach Street.
Beach Street. Well, we was going to a park and we cut through Barry's local street, Beach Street, and that was everyone selling the bodies for like 12 quid. So anybody want any cheap brasses, go to Beach Street in Sheffield, 12 quid.
I was curious, maybe call me naive, but what did you mean by we don't want the clap?
That means an STD.
The clap.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
Yeah, we had to take Barry to the hospital to get rid of it a few weeks ago.
Want some antibiotics, huh, Bear?
She know. Hang on. How do you know about antibiotics to get rid of it?
Shut up. Anyways, Billy, there's been a lot going on with you recently.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see the Martin Murray fight. First off, how is the injury?
Yeah, the injury's good now. Bad calf injury. You know, people were saying that I wasted his time and I cost him a payday and his family, but also that I also put a lot of hours in, and it cost myself a payday. But you know, at this level, with what's at stake, you can't go in 98%, 99%. You've got to be 100%. And you know, I've put myself in a position where I don't need to take risk and need to take chances. Financially, I'm okay. I'm very well. On his hand, on the other hand, I don't know. You know, because he's took some silly chances over the years, travelling here, travelling there, and you know, he's failed 4 times for a world title. So I'm happy with the road I'm on through taking sensible chances. And you know, that was just a stupid chance. I'm a boxer. I'm a mover. You know, it's not like a a little niggle with the hand, a little niggle with the shoulder or anything. I need my legs. My legs win me fights. So, you know, I can't really put myself in a situation. Listen, Martin's a good fighter. I'm not running him down. You know, he's a decent fighter, but he's not on my level. He was never going to beat me. He never would beat me. He couldn't even tie my laces. That's how it is. He will keep busy fight. And, you know, that was it really. But for people saying that, you know, I put him for a camp. Yeah, he had a camp. You know, I was away from camp. I was away from all my kids as well. You know, in training camp in Spain. And, you know, so it worked both ways. I'm not just gone into training camp, spent money going away, bringing people in and, you know, wasting my trainer's time and everyone else's time. It's generally, if I'm injured, I'm injured. And even if Golovkin was, like they were saying, Frank was saying, oh, we've got the Golovkin fight, I was never ready for August. And I wouldn't have boxed in August because I'm not going in there for a few quid, I'm going to win. And, you know, if I couldn't have been ready for Martin Murray, I wouldn't have been ready for Golovkin. Because he's, in my opinion, he's 5 levels above Martin Murray, maybe 6, maybe 10. So, you know, I could not go in that fight with an injury. And,
so clarifying, you did not pull out of that fight?
No, I did not pull out of that fight to talk with Canelo and Golovkin because I wouldn't have been ready. Just impossible to be ready. And that
Were you surprised by Martin Murray's reaction when you pulled out? Because I know all the way up until that point there had been a lot of respect between the two, and it just seemed like he said a few things and it just sparked you to go off on, what was it, Instagram?
You know, he's calling people shit bags and whatnot else. But there's one thing with me: I take it if I have to go and I take an army on. I don't care. You know, I'm afraid and fear no man. So why you think I'd be a shitbag from him? Where, to be honest with you, it was probably a payday that, you know, he's never had in his life and he'll never see, and that I could probably put a blindfold on and beat him for it. So it wasn't the reason I shit myself from him. It was just I was injured. And like I said, if I was boxing him or Robin Deacon or Golovkin, I wouldn't have been ready for it. Simple.
You said Robin Deacon.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you know, I'm just giving it as an example. I wouldn't have been ready because it's impossible to go in that ring. And, you know, I've done it in previous fights, like when I boxed in Scotland. I've managed to get away, you know, with near and death life experiences in the boxing world. And, you know, I'm not willing to put that back on the line again because I know where, you know, something like that, God forbid, if anything happened from my own fault, it could cause someone to... I'm the sort of person that would probably go into a mental breakdown or something over it. You know, I want to win more than money. So that was that one.
What do you make of Gennady Golovkin saying you're not on his level? Because when I interviewed him, that's what he said.
You know, listen, he keeps going on, he wants all the belts, he's had the chance. I understand, you know, I personally don't think that he's feared of anyone. You know, it's a financial move, obviously, he's fighting Canelo for rather than me, so I understand that. You know, but also he's had a chance where he could have slotted me in and he didn't. I personally think that the David Lemieux fight for me was really, you know, not really, it wasn't good for business because people seen when I'm awake and when I'm alive what I can do. Not when I just turn up and just get a win, but when I want to turn up, and I can turn up when I want to and when I know I have to. I can be dangerous for any fighter on the planet, and I think that they know that.
What do you think of him being stripped of the IBF title?
You know, I personally think that was a move from Canelo's people. I think that Canelo's people didn't want that belt on the line because of the 10-pound weight restriction. You know, it was a good move from them. I think that they wanted to get rid of that belt. Said, look, we'll give you a bit more money, but that belt's got to go. Because they don't want to hold him down and, you know, make weight the next day. They want him big and strong. And I personally think with that IBF title on the line, you've got to hold that 10-pound limit. And that, you know, that takes something away from somebody. And to be honest with you, if they offer me the chance for the IBF title on the line, I've done the same. I wouldn't have bothered about that. I would have let that go as well because I'm not weighing in the next day, waiting the next day as well, and then got a, you know, hold restriction of 10 pound. I put on a stone. I get in the ring probably, you know, 12-12.
Jamal Charlo is also someone who has openly said that he would like to fight you. Yeah. What do you think of him? What do you make of him?
You know, who has he boxed? Matter of fact, he hasn't boxed nobody half as good as me. He hasn't boxed a David Lemieux. He hasn't even boxed a Willie Monroe. You know, who's he fighting? He's fighting that best he's ever boxed is Sebastian Ireland. And he had he went in there with an injured leg. So, apart from that, who has he got in his record? There's nobody to suggest that he's in my level. Then when I'm the world champion, he's got some sort of interim title. Wait till he improve himself. Or if the money's right, if he went with, they're talking to Eddie Hearn, why not let these people get in contact with Frank Warren if they're looking for other promoters? Because Frank Warren's a good promoter. Frank Warren are paying well. And I'm sure then we can make the big fights on BT Sport because we've got that platform now where the money's there for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Danny Jacobs.
Danny Jacobs as well. Danny Jacobs is a good fighter, but the absolute best he's ever been and he'll ever be is when he boxed Golovkin. Because he was in that fight all the way. And I had him 1 round down. But that is the best of him. There is no more better than that. He's not going to come on from that. That is the absolute best he'll ever do. Mm-hmm. And you'll never see that performance from Danny Jacobs again because, he had his chance to beat Golovkin that night and he let it slip. If that would have been me in the ring that night, 100% I would have capitalised on that and got the win.
Now, there's a lot of rumor going around right now that you may be facing James Degale. Whether you go up in weight or he comes down in weight, what do you have to say to that?
There's a lot of rumour and there's a big talk about it. I can't say too much at the minute, but me and Frank were on in my team MTK. They've been working hard to make the fight. They'll find out this week. There's 2 opponents in line for it. So we'll find out this week whether it's him or Plan B. But, hopefully that the fight can be made. We've done many rounds, me and him. I think he'll agree that, people are paid to watch the spar. Sometimes in sparring, I've pasted him, sometimes he pasted me, and it's been a very, very good spar. We've had about 8 or 9 spars, and every single spar you're paid to watch. And it's the only really spar I've ever been in where I enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Where you've got to find a way back in the spar and, you take confidence from that. Me and him's obviously GB teammates. And it makes a lot of sense because, I don't mind going up to 12 stone. When people see me in real life, they know I'm not a small middleweight. Mm-hmm. They know I'm not that small. So, 12 stone, I'm not saying I'll be go anything over 12 stone, but 12 stone I'll be comfortable with.
Okay, so with that said, are you looking more so to stay at middleweight for this, if you were to get that fight, or is it catch weight?
I think that I'm a natural middleweight, but I'm at the stage now where I want the big fights. Mm-hmm. And, all these people coming through it's good to have them in the talk of these big fights. But I've been in the game since I've been 5. I'm not saying I'll walk away out of, 1 or 2 fights, but I want to be done when I'm 30. So when I'm 30, 31, I want to walk away from the sport and obviously have my senses intact and get on with life, have a life. Because boxing, really, you restrict everything away. Mm-hmm. I've got kids, so it'd be nice to spend a proper bit of time with them because they're all growing up fast. So, I want the big fights now, not all these coming through. I'm only interested in, the Degales, the Golovkins, even the Canelos, the Jacobses, because they are big fights. Mm-hmm. But really, realistically, looking back, who else really are big names that's going to attract, the big money fights and, the big draws fighting in front of 20 or 40,000 people. That's the sort of fights now I need to be into, especially with the platform of BT coming on board. It makes everything possible.
I was also going to mention Demetrius Andrade, but since you were mentioning that you wanted the big fights, is that somebody that you're just not interested in facing then?
No, listen, even him, to be honest, I forgot about him. He's a good fighter, he's a good name. Most definitely, he's my mandatory. So he did have a fight booked in, but I don't know what's gone on. So 100% I'll be interested in fighting him. Mm-hmm. He's my mandatory, that'd be a good fight. I've seen him through the amateurs, he's seen me. We've exchanged a couple of Twitter messages. He knows... I know that he's not a walkover. I know he's a good fighter. He's long, he's rangy. And he also knows that he's up against it with me. It'll be a very, very good fight, a technical thinking fight, and it'll be a fight that I'll definitely be looking forward to.
Bill, it's got to be frustrating for you because it seems like you've been in camp since January. We're now in July, and we have not seen you face anyone yet. For people who are saying that, he's just coming up with excuses, I mean, surely that's just crazy because here you are taking time away from your family constantly to try to just get through one camp, but it seems like it's been an extended one.
You get, people talk shit, but, the team around me and everybody knows that, I'm not going to sit back and cost myself millions of pounds. Mm-hmm. I want to earn a few quid and get on and same as anybody else. And the Martin Murray fight, when that got made twice, it was just, at that time, it just generally wasn't meant to happen. The first time, then the second time, and I was thinking, I couldn't deal with the headache because I was thinking, At one stage, I was still like, I was thinking, well, I tried to get back in, but I couldn't run, I couldn't spar. And it's not just the calf, because probably I could have strapped it up and got in the ring that night. But look at Sergio Martinez when he boxed Martin Murray. Bad knees. When a good boxer gets in the ring, he needs his legs. If he hasn't got his legs, I'd rather get in the ring without my arms than my legs, because that's what gets you out of trouble and puts you in position. And, you know, this wasn't physical for me to do. So, you know, unfortunately, the 2 fights that got made this year have been 2 pullouts. But, you know, I'm not just going into training camp, going away for a load of weeks at a time, and then decide, oh, I'm not going to fight now. It's not that. It's just, you know, stuff happens, and, you know, it caught me twice.
Bill, you seem to say a lot on social media. Do you feel like you're misunderstood? Like people don't understand that, for the most part, you just have a really dry sense of humor?
I don't know if I take that as a compliment, to be honest with you, or a bit of an insult.
You have a dry sense of humor, because, like, I hear you say some of the stuff you say, but you say it with such a straight face, and so it can come off that you're being serious, but you're not being serious.
Name one. Name one, please.
That whole Instagram live situation. Do you know what someone said to me, Bill? Someone goes, "Is it a bit concerning that he's too good? He's too good with lying."
I'm too good with lying.
But you know what I mean. Like, you're obviously joking on. What are you umming about? What is this umming about?
Oh, intervention here. Oh, she's been sucking back on the old smoke. No, I think some people... Listen, I am who I am. I'll just say what I say. I don't ever be nasty or bullying people. I don't do it for that. I just do it because I like a bit of entertainment. And I don't take the piss. Do you know what I mean? I don't do it to humiliate them. I just do it to have a little bit of... I'll get them, you know, they could become famous out of that, become on the Jeremy Kyle show or something. You never know, do you know what I mean? Could have a documentary out of that, couldn't they? You know, potentially, I'll put them on that platform. They need to work and use that to their advantage. I would like to see them to do it.
I think you rekindled their love.
100%. I got them back together.
And you paid for the meal.
And I paid for the meal. Yeah, they wasn't together for 4 years. Listen, I just say how I see things. Some people don't like straight people. Look, it's got Tyson Fury in a hell of a lot of trouble over the years. You know, it's got me in a bit of trouble over the years. But it's just how I am. I'm just straightforward. Like, it's just... I don't know, it's just straight. You've got to be straight, innit? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just you have to be straight. I don't really talk around a lot of shit. I can't be around people who talk shit either.
What's been the best prank you've ever pulled off?
Oh.
The best.
Oh, I'll probably be arrested tomorrow if I told you that. Yeah. Oh, I'll probably be arrested. Escape room. Yeah, the escape room. Yeah.
Okay, give me one that you can mention.
There's so many. There's just so many. Do you know what? I don't even look at them as pranks. I just look at them as I'm entertaining myself at the time. I don't look at them as, oh, I'm going to do this. I don't think about it. Sometimes it just happens.
Bill, do you know what I always think to myself? And I don't want it to sound weird because I don't mean it like that. But the day you should ever pass on, right? I know. No, listen. You're the type of person that, you know, when people get up and make speeches about, like, reflecting on that person's life, you would have, like, a queue of people who are ready to talk about, well, you know, how I met Bill was, and this is what he did, and all the funny stories that you've done, because it seems like, and I know this for a fact because I'm around you, you're always pulling something on someone. And it's like you get this weird look in, you get this weird look in your eyes, like it's this mischievous look where you're up to something.
So what you're saying, when I die, there's going to be a load of people at the funeral? Is that what you're saying?
I'm so terrible at explaining that. I'm just saying that you're one of those people that you're going to always remember as having the best...
Are we going to bury you in England or America? I'm only asking the question. Now we're on this subject. Are we going to bury you here or America?
America.
Okay, yeah.
Michelle, who's going to win the football? England or India?
Oh, we've had this argument already today, Barry. We've had this argument today.
Michelle, whose side? Who are you picking, Michelle? And score.
Now, don't be a bias because he's here.
Yeah.
No, I said England.
All right. So tell me this: India and England play obviously in probably the biggest game in the world. Who are you going to pick? England to score first? Have a think about this. And you can even video him. Ask Barry first. Ask Barry first. Who do you think of India? No, ask him first. India.
I'm going to say Peter Sutcliffe.
I have to let my heart rule my head here.
No. Not England player. Not England player. India player.
Oh, Singh number 7.
Who? Singh number 7.
It's India.
All right. Okay, now I'm going to ask the American who she thinks is going to score the winner for England.
A name?
Yeah.
Do you know what's really funny? Is everyone's like, I don't know.
Right, Barry.
I'm like, hey, look, I'm going.
Right, Barry, who do you think, Barry?
I'm going to say Peter Sutcliffe.
No. England, India player. You can't say that.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to say Singh number 7.
Sing number 7.
Yeah, because how many Singh? There's about 8 Singhs in the on there.
Yeah, number 7. Okay. And who?
That's 7
Who do you
Singhs.
say? Who's going to score the winner for? Who's going to score the winner for England?
Peter.
Pete Sutcliffe.
Yes, there we go. That's Sutcliffe.
All right. Well, not a bad call. Not a bad call at all. Well, I've got 50 quid with this, Matt. Who's winning the vote, matter of fact?
I don't know, Bill. You haven't retweeted it.
Yeah, caption have a look.
What about... Think
That's your phone.
That's mine.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
I'm looking at it now. I thought it was your phone.
Sutcliffe could score.
Peter Sutcliffe won't. Listen, Pete, yeah.
No, why would you want my phone? You can't retweet it for mine.
No, I'm going to retweet it for mine, but I'm saying what the current poll is.
Oh.
Peter Sutcliffe, you've got Peter Sutcliffe, Jimmy Savile, Fred West.
Oh, Jimmy Savile's a dangerous cunt. He's a dangerous bastard, isn't he?
I personally think Jimmy Savile's going to take out.
He's believed in the youth, hasn't he? So
He's going to take. Jimmy Savile's going to take out Singh number 3 for his age.
to be honest, Jimmy Savile's always backed the English youth.
Yes, yeah.
He's put everything behind him.
Listen, it's a big game. I would like to see. Listen, like I say. Obviously, I'm from the Gypsy community. My ancestors are from India. No, yeah, I'm from India from years ago, generations. Yeah, from India. That's where we come from.
So if you were Indian, what would be your ring name? What would be your ring name if you had to go back to your Indian?
Balao Joe.
Balao Kulsi.
Yeah.
Balao Joe Saunders.
Balao Joe. Yeah, that'd be my name. That's probably where it comes from.
All right, Bill. Only 989 votes. It's not very much.
Who would the right for?
75% England, 25% India.
Oh.
If you flip that, that's like the taxi driver population ratio.
Well, if you flip that, that'd be, yeah, he's right.
75% Indian.
Just in Birmingham.
Yep. Well.
All right, well, that's fair enough. Okay. Well, at the minute, I'm still in the lead, so you owe 50 quid to the charity.
I know.
At the minute that I choose.
Probably go to the native Indian Gypsy community, if you're happy with that.
Mobile community.
Have you played Tyson Fury on PlayStation yet?
I've been in the gym. He's been in the gym. I had a little practice earlier on.
How well did that go for you?
Well, it got interrupted. The electric went. What? I was playing Your Man here with the camera. The electricity went in the house.
Only on your TV?
Halfway through the game, the electricity went, and we had to call it a draw. I'm happy to call it a draw, would you? Listen, it's like me winning a fight, in a championship fight, smashing him to pieces. All of a sudden, the third round, bang, we both get cut. You got to go. We get past 6, and then it's got to go to the scorecards. And even though I've slaughtered you, it's still a draw. 100%. So I'm happy with that.
Bill, do you think that you can convince anybody to do anything?
I can convince you to sleep with Barry. I can convince you. Couldn't I, Barry?
I think you could.
30 seconds, let's do it.
Just look at
30
this.
seconds.
Not the sleeping, we're just the
Oh, 30 seconds. So what are you saying about her?
As in,
Michelle.
Michelle, don't even know hear about because he's got like gypsy magic.
Oh.
Michelle, don't
You always do that, Bill. Oh.
gypsy magic on her.
Did you see what he just said?
What?
It'd take Barry 30 seconds.
It would take you 30 seconds.
If he puts that gypsy magic on you,
You'll be ease.
gypsy kid.
Look around the eyes, look around the eyes. Boom, you're under. Listen, Barry's here. You would take Barry by the hand, walk him to his bedroom, Now, seriously, Barry, I will say, Barry has sustained himself for sex since he's been 13.
It's true. It's true.
That's TMI.
TMI. Tim. TMI. Tim.
TMI.
Oh, sorry, TIM Sim, yeah, sorry. TMI, what's that?
Too much information.
Too much
It
information.
actually stands for take Michelle inside. Take her inside. Just the room.
Oh, do you know what though? Michelle gets very angry very quick in her interviews. Yeah, she gets very... Yeah, she does. Yeah. She goes from 0 to 100 real quick. Like, when I sparred her in Spain, I tapped her.
That was uncomfortable.
It was no. Do you know what though? She felt strong. She felt strong. But what I didn't realise is now I sat back and I thought about it. I didn't realise I didn't realise I had sparring gloves on. I had bag gloves on, and they was cleat raise. Do you know what I mean? So every little touch was like, oh, but I didn't know that. It sort of slipped my mind. Where I was thinking, oh yeah.
She's got Mexican, you know, don't you?
Well, she got Mexican. She got Italian in her, hasn't she?
No, I don't.
All right.
German. Native American and Spanish.
Well, you've had it in you then, like. I'm joking. She's only joking, don't I? See, look, she's getting mad now. See that? She gets mad, honestly. She started jumping out. The last time me and her was in the ring,
She's strong, isn't she?
it wasn't. She took a bad salt. I apologised. She wasn't having none of it. So I'm sorry. Fuck off, Bill. Fuck off, she said to me. Fuck off, Bill, you gypsy.
You liar.
That's what she said.
How did she call you the P word?
Yes.
She called you the P word?
Yes.
You see, he's such a liar.
She was hurling racial slurs at me.
She called him the P word. The worst thing
Blasphemy.
you could ever call her.
Gypsy, she was calling me.
Blasphemy.
Blasphemy.
You know what? To be fair, Bill, if we're going to be on this topic, you don't know when to stop sometimes.
I'll make you right. I'll get a bit excited and then I want to stop, but I can't. I've got ADHD. What's he laughing at? Smithers.
There's no need for that. There's no need for that, lad.
It is because just
Thanks,
that
Uncle.
ADHD, just somebody made it up.
It did.
When I was a kid, they were just not. They were
That
just
was
called
100 years
naughty
ago,
kids.
Carl.
They were just called naughty kids. Now the ADHD.
That was 100 years ago, Carl.
That's true.
Bill, then you're just a big grown-up
No.
kid.
No. I just get a little bit excited sometimes. Get a little bit carried
You
away.
know what? You didn't actually apologize to me that day. No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't.
I apologised to you when you got there. So I'm sorry, Michelle. I'm sorry. I'm
No, you
sorry.
didn't.
You was looking, took your gloves off. And do you know what though? The instigator there was Terry.
Michelle, he rang me up and he said he was scared for his life.
Oh.
No, honestly, he did. He goes, I might catch the flight back. She goes, she just had that look in her eyes. I think she's going to try
That
and
crazy
stab me.
look, 100%.
I was like,
He
"Serious,
was
Michelle?"
pretty fucking accurate.
She was.
He was out there in that Spanish country. She could have paid someone off. But he pumped off. Had the body
She got a Spaniard in there, didn't she?
Do you know when I was so angry that I was like crying. Have you ever been? No, I can't say that. When I get angry, I cry sometimes. But you know, whatever. Anyways, we're past that, aren't we?
Yeah, we put it behind us and we move forward. Well, yeah, haven't we? Like we put it behind us, we move forward, and we get on better for it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Michelle,
I'll never get in the ring with you
when are
again.
you going to get me and Billy in the next World Super Series?
Oh, that'd be class.
When are you gonna get
It's that.
Kid
Middleweight and
Galahad?
featherweight, that'd be big.
It's the main man. Sauerland. That's when you get us in there.
I personally think that Barry Kid Galahad, if that is a weight, if that's gonna happen, he's got to be in there. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
What
We've
would you
talked
say?
about this.
What about middleweight though?
What a season that would be.
Would you ever do a middleweight tournament?
Would I ever do a middleweight? It all depends who was in it, the time of the situation. With management, MTK, Frank Warren, myself, my dad, brother, my granddad, also Steve, my grandfather's ashes. You know, if we could all get together around the table, spread him out as well on there. I will give it the Super Series put on some unbelievable shows. You know, the way the ring entrance is, the crowds, the atmospheres, they're obviously doing well because they're starting every series. So, you know, if there was a middleweight one, I'd definitely be open to talk, yeah.
I like the ring entrance show when the lights go out.
Yeah. The smoke and everything.
Yeah.
It's a bit gladiator-ish, isn't it?
You know how to put on a show.
What's happening with this, with the final?
The super middles? Well, next week we're in Russia for Usyk Gassiev. Do you follow either one of them?
Yep.
Who do you think is going to win that?
I think it's going to be a good fight, but the one with the head like a coconut, what's his name? Sorry.
The Russian kid.
The Russian. Yeah.
The Triple G's stablemate.
What's the one who's got the belts at the minute?
They both do.
No, yeah, but
They got 2 each.
the W, yes, him.
And the other one's a bit like...
Yeah, Lomachenko fella. Yeah, him. I reckon him. Yeah. Who do you reckon?
I can't call that
Why?
because I can't call it.
Why? If you had to put your life on it, what'll happen?
You know what fight I'd like to see? Billy Joe Saunders against George Groves.
Oh,
How about
that's
that?
important.
Me and George Groves could get it on, yeah. We're sparred as well.
I think that'd be a better fight than
So-
Degale, because Degale's already been beat by him.
Yeah, good call from
So George Groves and Callum Smith. Who do you reckon?
See, do you know what? A lot of people they don't rate him how they should. They underestimate him. I sparred George Groves. See, with George, he doesn't do a lot at all. He's got a good distance, good feet, and a good jab. You know, he's strong with both hands. But to look at him in a whole, he's not a brilliant mover. He's not, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 or 7, put them together. It's just very basic, but what he does works for him. He's very tricky. Callum, I would like to see Callum Smith, and all he's done absolutely unbelievable. I would like to see him against a couple of levels above who he boxed to really gauge. Because at the moment, if we're going to go on hype, you're going to say Callum Smith. But if you're going to go on actual who he's been in the ring of an experience, you're going to say George Groves. So that is, for me, if I had to put money on it, I'm going to say I fancy Groves. Sank's telling me Smith, but I fancy Groves. It's a close one. I wouldn't be 100% sure. But, it wouldn't shock me if Callum won. But, with Groves' last performance, depending the injury holds up, I'd say, Groves. And that's another thing. The injury, is he 100%? We don't know.
I know that there's also been mention of James Degale and Chris Eubank Jr.
Yeah, I've heard that. But see, the only thing is with the Eubanks is that you can think you can say I've signed a fight, and then you haven't, because they're very hard to deal with, very hard to work with. Unless you've actually sat down and listened to the amount of shit and ridiculous shit they talk. Look, if James Degale wants a quick few quid to walk away and get it and walk away, then I suppose he'd give a few things in their way. But the amount of rubbish they ask for in contracts, I'll be very surprised if sort of that magnitude of fight can happen for Eubank without a tournament like the Super Series, because it's just ridiculous. So I'll be surprised, but it'd be a good fight. I'll be interested in watching it. I think Degale beat him comfortably.
And lastly, I want to ask you about your mate, Tyson. How's he been?
Tyson's been very good, very focused. He's
I wanted to ask you about that kiss that he had with his opponent. What was your initial reaction to that?
I don't know. I don't ask him why does he kiss men. I know that Tyson he likes to give out love. He could be bisexual. Don't really know.
Wow, can we take that kiss?
I don't know, but I've been in bed a couple of times and I've heard the door creak when we're in there, and I'm saying, "Will Tyson, listen, we're about to talk him out of it." I'm feared for me life looking at him. I'm sure Ben Davison, he may have experienced that. Now listen, with Tyson, he's just a character, and he's been working away. Him and Ben obviously clearly work well. They got a very, very good working relationship, good understanding. He's just locked himself away. I think he had 5 days out and back in the gym. So he's locked himself away again. He's back in heavy camp now. looking for another opponent. I mean, people gave him stick about his last opponent, but that was just to say, look, the man's lost 8 stone just to get him back in the ring. Look, he's back. You see the way he took it. He didn't take it serious. You know, he didn't take it serious at all. But you see a big, big difference his next time.
He called out Deontay Wilder, what was it, like a week and a half ago. Now that we're not going to get Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua next, he sort of threw himself into the mix. Smart move?
Listen, to be honest with you, I don't think Tyson needs to throw himself in the mix because they really need him because Tyson is the real heavyweight champion. He didn't get beaten with his belts. They got stolen off him. You know, he got messed about for 2.5 years, then he just got let back in the ring. So my personal opinion of it is that they really shouldn't class themselves as the best until they beat Tyson because no one wanted to go near Klitschko, like all the young up-and-comers. Tyson had to go to Germany and do what he did, and he did it well. You know, dethroned Klitschko, who ain't been beaten for like coming up 12 years. And then, you know, what went on, stripped him. Then Joshua, look, Joshua's unbelievable for the sport. I rate him. I think him and Tyson are the 2 best heavyweights. But, you know, I personally think that the only way you're ever going to see a truly great Tyson Fury is if he gets in the ring with a Joshua or he gets in the ring with a Wilder. Then you will see that the real Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury said that he thinks that Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn are afraid of Deontay because he's going to get sparked out. Those were his words. Do you agree with him?
Look, I think that anybody in that weight division can get sparked out. Anybody. It's not a guaranteed result in that weight division. But what I will say is with Joshua is that he's a very, very big attraction. And, you know, if Eddie Hearn can milk 80,000, then milk 120,000, it's business moves. And that's what it's about. You know, they've done clearly very, very well. You know, Joshua's, you know, in my opinion, he's probably the biggest sportsman in the history of boxing. You know, he's probably he's up. I'm not saying he's up with Muhammad Ali and stuff like that, but commercial-wise, he is. He's the only man that I know can go and sell, you know, 80 to 100,000 at that sort of venue. But I can see that the way Eddie Hearn's looking at it. If he beats his mandatory in front of 80,000, then gets Wilder and beats Wilder, and then fights Tyson. You know, that's probably 300 million, 400 million they've made that through them 3 events. So I can see really his route. But with Wilder and Joshua, I fancy Joshua to beat Wilder because I think Joshua's a little bit, he's good on his feet. We've seen him, you know, the questions was asked when he gets hit. We've seen him on the camps and get back up. So I personally think that his youth and you know, his team around him at the minute are getting through that fight. I don't think it'll be an easy fight, but I think Joshua will beat Wilder. But then I think that Tyson will beat them all. And I'm not saying it because I'm biased, I'm sat in here and he's my mate. I say it is. And if Tyson's not 100%, none of them fights he shouldn't get in the ring with. He's got to be 100% himself. But on ability-wise, everybody 100% and peaking, that I believe Tyson is the man.
And lastly, Bill, I want to ask you, who do you see winning? Gennady Golovkin or Canelo in the rematch?
I think that Golovkin won the first one. It all depends because, you know, them sort of fights, them sort of camps, even the camp where Canelo pulled out, they take a little bit away from that sort of fighter at that stage of his career. You know, he's 36 now. He's not getting any younger. You know, maybe it wouldn't surprise me if Canelo won on points or Golovkin won on points. It's one of them that it's really who turns up. Who don't, you know, Canelo's been in with him before. He's witnessed, you know, his power. He knows what he's about now. Maybe that might suit him. And maybe Golovkin thinks, right, well, I started a little bit slow last time. I'm going to steamroll him early on. And maybe that suits Golovkin. So it all depends. The first 4 rounds is crucial in that sort of fight.
Canelo says that this is personal for him now because he didn't appreciate the comments made by Gennady Golovkin. What do you make of that?
I think that every fight's going to be personal for Canelo now then because he's a drug cheat. You know, he went in there, he done that. He automatically went straight in there and, you know, took what he done. And to be honest with you, if you look at it now, he's been boxing since he's been 15, boxing men. And, you know, when you got that kind of money, anything can be masked. And my opinion that everybody who fights him is going to say, you know, X, Y, and Z to get under his skin. And I believe that Golovkin's saying stuff to get under his skin to make it his sort of fight. And by the sounds of things, if he's going to take it personal, then, you know, he could come up against it with Golovkin, because, you know, if you walk into Golovkin all night without countering, then you're in big trouble. So, you know, if he's going to take it like that and let it get to him, then, you know, you've got to favour Golovkin that little bit more.
All right, Billy Joe. Thank you for your time. I know that you had just had a nice workout sesh.
Yes, thank you.
Any final words?
No, just everybody stay tuned, and hopefully my date should be middle of September. So looking forward to it, and looking forward to the date, and hopefully announcement within the next week of an opponent.
And the hope is that it is James Degale. Is that the number one choice?
There's two. So we'll see. I left that to my management, MTK, who always looked like me and do the job, and Frank One Promotions.
Okay. All right, Bill. Thank you so much. Bye, fight fans. Hey, fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so by clicking this icon right here, or else